Welcome back to Dwarf Fortress, and welcome to the channel. I'm Twisted Logic. I have removed the designation down here and then added a new 3x3 right here for Urist McLogic to dig out. Right now he's drinking, storing items in the bin, and socializing. What I want to get done, I want to get a lot of smooth stoning done in this episode. He's drinking mead right now. Great. Oh, stumbling around obliviously. I hope to solve that in this episode. And the way I'm going to do that is just by smooth stoning a lot. To have him keep his mind off of things and hopefully reduce his stress. Now, he is on the positive spiral. And in one of the last episodes, it looked like it ticked up a little bit. But it can... the stresses of the dwarves can kind of like tick up and then tick back down. Depending on what thoughts come into their mind. So if he remembers like being haunted by the ghost or seeing his friends die or something like that, then stress may tick up a little bit for that time, but it's not like a permanent. I know that his permanent trajectory is on the positive because of his thoughts. But let's see, I want to turn on mining for him, and maybe some masonry, as well as smooth stoning. Okay, 27.7k stress. Read. 27.6k stress. So even though he had an uptick earlier, that's going to solve itself. So all the hauling off. Okay, the only thing he had on was brewing, so I'm going to turn on mining and stone detailing, stone crafting, and all this hauling labors are going to be turned on as well. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. He's detailing the floor. So I think I maybe want to turn. I'll let him detail a little bit, and then I'll turn it off and switch it over to mining because I want to get this areas here dug out. This is going to be a refuse stockpile area, and then 4 rooms right here. They're just kind of like extra rooms for whatever I need to put in there. Maybe get some of this stuff out of the way. And I want to go over to the mason shop now and make sure we have some of this stuff. Just click it a couple times to see what's in here. Oh, okay, just a bunch of blocks, and let's see the queue. Oh, nothing, okay, so add H for coffers, F for cabinets, so 3 and 3. I'll add a couple more coffers in. Okay, and he's stumbling around again. The Forgotten Beast Vesh has come, a towering feathering leech. It has wings and it has a bloated body. Its lavender blush feathers are long and sparse. Beware of its noxious secretions. Okay. Okay, where's Vesh now? Here. So I'm gonna follow Vesh, this Forgotten Beast, and secreting the noxious secretions there. Oh, there's another one. They're fighting. Yes, this is Chateau. Chateau and Vesh are in combat right now. Let's go to the wounds here. So he's got a body, right wing, left wing, and guts damaged. And Chateau may have been damaged earlier. I'm not really sure. We'll take a look at the combat logs. But let me use / here to do one step of the program. That may be too slow. I'm not sure. Well, Vesh is flying, so I'm going to follow Vesh and then step it. And we'll take a look at the combat logs. Let's see what this is here. It's a pool of Vesh's ichor right there. On top of a pile of mud, okay. Okay, so it looks like Vesh died, and Chateau here is pretty damaged as well. Left eye is damaged. The right antenna looks like it's really damaged. Left antenna is medium. Throat, mouth, tongue, left eyelid, stinger. Okay, so let's go to the reports here and take a look at the Forgotten Beast fight. Let's take a look at it from Chateau's point of view. There's 3 pages here. Okay, so we got into a fight with some Crundles. Crundle bites the Forgotten Beast in the head. Okay, so it was Chateau was damaged beforehand. The Forgotten Beast bites the Crundle back a bunch of times. Crundle's been knocked unconscious, and then the Crundle's been knocked unconscious. Okay, and then the fight starts here between the 2 Forgotten Beasts. Attacks and misses, attacks and misses. So the Forgotten Beast latches on firmly. That is Chateau biting Vesh. Vesh doesn't have wings. We can see in this one, Forgotten Beast breaks the grip of the Forgotten Beast's teeth on the Forgotten Beast's left wing. So Vesh is the one with wings. Attacks, but it jumps away. A lot of biting attacks here. Bites and misses, latches on firmly. I thought that Chateau had a stinger, but it doesn't seem to be coming up. Okay, the Forgotten Beast charges at the Forgotten Beast, collides and knocks it down. Oh, it bounces backwards. Forgotten Beast shakes the Forgotten Beast around by the neck. Bites and bites the Forgotten Beast in the mouth, and the injured part is torn apart. Latches on firmly. Bites the other Forgotten Beast in the head. Breaks the grip of the Forgotten Beast's teeth on the Forgotten Beast's mouth. So he's like, I guess one of them has a bigger mouth than the other one. And then he starts getting caught in the, oh, it's a boiling extract, okay. So it's like a, very damaging secretion going on here. And then he keeps getting caught in the boiling extract, so his whole body's getting damaged here. And then finally, let's take a look at, Vesh here. Oh, page 3 of 3 here. Okay, so page 3 of 3 here on Vesh's report is the Forgotten Beast bites the Forgotten Beast in the body, tearing the muscle and bruising the brain, and that's when Vesh died. Very interesting. These must be the Crundles here. Yeah, Crundle's head, Crundle's tail, Crundle's left foot. Oh, okay. So the Crundle was like mutilated and just tossed about the cave system, and then he went off into the undiscovered area. So we'll take a look at Urist here. He's constructing the rock. Urist is constructing the rock coffers. All right. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I meant to record last weekend. I started recording the Hermit life, and went to make a cup of coffee after about 5 minutes of getting into it, and noticed that my fish tank really needed some attention. The filters hadn't been changed in a while. Filters hadn't been changed in a while, and it was like kind of the filter area was like getting clogged up with like fish tank sludge basically, and I really needed to clean that before I could record more. It's oh great, so he's putting the coffers in as well. Excellent. He's installing the coffers, constructing the buildings, which is great. Is all the mason work done now? Yes, it is. So Urist finished all of his mason work, and now he can construct the buildings. I'm pretty sure that Abin's going to return. He should bring the book back. I wasn't. I may have not eaten enough before I recorded that episode, but I really didn't want Abin to leave, and then as he was leaving, I didn't think about it, and I was just like afterwards. But I believe that Abin should return at some point. I'm not sure when. I have no idea. And we'll see if he brings the book or not, because that was the second visit Abin made. This is a pretty small world. So I believe that the smaller the world, the chances of the same scholars returning increase, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh great, and as his skill goes up in detailing, his speed is going to go. He's doing this pretty quickly. He's detailing the walls and floors and stuff pretty quickly, so I'm going to just let him detail it. He's got some, I should make some more, gravestones as well, but he just went to sleep, so let's take a look at his thoughts. Z, enter. Sleeping in a great bedroom, satisfied at work, worried dwelling upon being unable to help anybody for too long. That's very difficult to solve. Well, it's not that difficult to solve, but in the challenge here. So I could, I can grant a petition for somebody to reside in the fortress with Urist, and then possibly fabricate some kind of unfortunate accident for them that doesn't kill them, but allows Urist to bring them to a hospital. Satisfied at work. Satisfied upon improving engraving. Wonder, remembering, communing with the earthen. Worried after being unable to help anybody again. Lonely after being away from family. Lonely after being away from friends. Content after putting on a finely crafted item. Pleasure after a satisfying acquisition. Satisfied at work. Interested, remembering a fine door. Okay. He felt satisfied remembering producing a masterwork. Satisfied at work, satisfied at work. Felt euphoric due to inebriation. He was content after eating a fine dish. He was blissful dining in a very good dining room. He was accepting, remembering, experiencing trauma. And mulling over the recurring memory allowed him to rethink his intellectual values and change his personal tendencies. He felt euphoric due to inebriation again. Satisfied at work, satisfied at work. He was exhilarating, remembering getting into an argument. Confused, dwelling upon being knocked out during a cave-in. He was exhilarated, remembering getting into an argument again. Satisfied at work again. Okay, so let's take a look at his personality changes here. When he saw Odom Bootrighteous's dead body in 50, it changed his personality. He personally would have the world operate in complete harmony without the least bit of strife or disorder. Due to being forced to endure the decay of a friend in the year 50, he sees power over others as something to strive for. Due to experiencing trauma in 55, he values peace over war. Due to seeing Maldath Granite Hoist die in 53, he sees sacrifice as wasteful and foolish. And he still doesn't really value merrymaking. He didn't value merrymaking from the beginning, though. He dreams of crafting a masterwork someday, and his dream was realized. So all in all, these are all positive things, and every once in a while some of the negative thoughts will come into his mind, and that'll increase his stress. But that should only really be a blip within the greater scheme of things. And R for relationships. All of his friends died there. Burr is also the earthen. If I go to V to view, the earthen is a deity of the blameless pick. The earthen most often takes the form of a male dwarf and is associated with metals and minerals. And then the acquaintances, the passing acquaintances as well. K for kills, and he's got three kills here, notable, and 2 other kills. 2 pangolins from hunting. Oh great, okay, so he's doing the rock hauling, he's doing different hauling. Autumn has arrived on the calendar. It's now autumn of the year 56. And yeah, there's so much item hauling in this game. Oh great, okay, now he's digging out the rooms here. And if I go to designations, these are all the same priority, 4 priority, which is normal. And if we follow him here, he's going to transfer levels, so he's going to like do a little bit on this level and a little bit on the level above. And he's going to keep on switching. So what I'll do is just designations and then set priority 5 on the lower spaces here. Just paint those in. And now he'll do this level and the stairs, and then I believe this room here. We'll do designations priority 6 on this room. So he'll do it in that order, 4, 5, 6. It makes it a little bit faster when you're doing multi-level rooms with a joining staircase. But now he's stumbling around. Is this? Let me make sure this door is unlocked here. Okay, this door's locked, so we're going to unlock the door, which is going to allow him to dig out this section here as well. Once he finds what he's looking for, or remembers what he was doing. When they stumble around obliviously, it's always like, I always imagine the dwarves like, they're trying to find something, but they don't know where it is. Like when I walk around the office or something and I fix somebody's computer and I leave the coffee cup at the table, and then like 20 minutes later I'm like, where's my coffee? What happened? And then I'm just like walking around looking for my coffee cup. I have a bad habit of that, leaving coffee cups places when I'm working. Okay, we got the outpost liaison dish map is back, as well as a trade caravan. Did he build the depot? Oh great, he did. So nobles, so he's already the broker and the bookkeeper. Let's go to G for the goods, and let's see, crafts. None of these are in bins, huh? What I could do is hit S and then type in bin, just bin. Oops, I typed in S bin. Bin. And now we have the different bins here, but I have no idea. Finish good bins. I don't think that those are crafts though. They're just finished goods, because if I go to the craft section of it, here, nothing's in bins. So maybe I'll just move like a couple of these silver bracelets because they're a little bit more expensive than the rock. Oh, there's just 2. Okay, so I'll just select a couple things like that, and that's it. And maybe he'll do it. Oh good, he is. He's bringing the items to the depot. So it looks like I'm going to need more bins than what I have. Possibly a bigger trading stockpile. Let's see what he's got to eat. Dwarven wine roast. I'm your liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss the situation. Merit deserves a reward, and I come empowered to establish this colony as an official land of our realm. Do you have any dwarves to recommend for elevation? Flattering, but we'd rather maintain our distance from the homeland. And the reason for that is because if I accept and elevate Urist, I may have mentioned this before, if I accept and elevate Urist, he'll become a baron. Just turn pet passable on for that door there. But he'll become a baron and then have all of these extra requirements for the hall, for the bedroom. He's going to require a tomb, which I thought I made this room here for the tomb, but that's all right. He's going to have all these extra requirements that aren't going to be met, and I kind of want to. I may do that. But I kind of want to solve his stress so he's not stumbling around a lot, and then I can maybe get some bigger things going on in here. Store item in stockpile. Okay, he's going down to the barracks room here. The beds. Okay. This area here that he just dug out, I'm going to do a pile for you for furniture. Just make a 3x1 right there. And the settings of this, disable the type, so the type's forbidden, and then just turn on other large tools. And then this pile right here, do the same thing in reverse. So disable other large tools. And so that's going to be these pedestals, but it's also going to be the stepladder. So what I'll do is queue up those pedestals to be built. So build Shift F for display furniture. Put one here and the other one next to it. So that's going to be a stockpile for stepladders. Right out, so he doesn't have to, when he goes to gather fruit from the trees, he just puts the stepladder right there, and then goes and does it and bring it back right here instead of having to bring it all the way inside. It'll still be protected from like the birds and stuff that steal. Okay, stumbling around obliviously again. So R to request the trader. And once he's no longer oblivious, he'll go and trade. We'll just see what we can get for these silver bracelets. So T to trade. Shift enter over here, and that selects everything. And okay, so I have a value of about 690. Are there any books? We got sheets. So I'm really only interested in like books, but they don't have any. Okay. How much of these steel picks here? 660. Okay. Let's try that. Steel pick for a for these figures. You know what I could really do is maybe I'll do that. Let's see if they have any anvils. What I could do is Q and then anvil. So the anvils are 300. When I melt down an anvil, how much steel do I get? If I melt down an anvil and have enough steel to build a steel shield or steel axe, then I can set up a job to get infinite steel for the rest of the game. Okay, steel anvil. 2 of them. We'll see if 2 of them works. Trade. Okay, I gotta press Q and then delete that. And now T to trade. Nope. Now T to trade. Yes. Ah, wonderful. Thank you for your business. So I just got 2 steel anvils. And so I'll make a stockpile for furniture. Settings of this. Let's forbid everything that's not an anvil. And then I have to unrequest. So R. No trader needed at the depot. And now Urist can go do his thing again. And he's putting some items in stockpile. Oh, he's got some mead there. Let's see. Oh, I got the other bed, okay. So I can melt down those... I'm gonna melt those anvils at a certain point. Oh, this is what I was, I need to disable refuse hauling. Or you know what? P and then X to remove. Just get rid of this refuse. Because it's very inefficient to move this stuff from outside the from inside the fortress to outside the fortress. It's... Oh great, he's doing the pedestals now. And that's the reason why I was digging this stair and this area here. So I'm just going to move the refuse down one and then put a door right here. So that way if there's any smell or something, it doesn't come out. I mean, I technically don't need a refuse stockpile, but he's got the anvil now. Oh great, it's there. So now this is going to be Shift M for auto melt. So he's telling a story to Dishmab there, and looks like he's going to move some more stuff around. Excellent. So he's back to detailing the floors. We got some anvils, and he should be going to sleep pretty soon, where we'll look at his thoughts. The traders just left. Excellent. Okay. I had to adjust my sound settings. I had I should have had the sound effects for the trade on. Okay, Urist is sleeping right now, and let's see here. He's got one new thing in this thoughts and preferences list. Yeah, right here. He felt satisfied upon improving appraisal. And there's more thoughts that he can get from trading. There may be more that come in later on. Let's take a look at his stress. So 27.6k stress right now. Let's read. 27.3k. Excellent. And his stone detailing is going up a little bit as well. Excellent. Oh great, he's going to eat. Excellent. One of the reasons I'm trying to improve his, one of the reasons why I'm trying to get him back to a happy state is so that way he can get more work done. He keeps getting distracted and depressed, and he threw one tantrum, I believe, so far. Once he details these rooms, though, it's going to... it does two things, detailing the rooms. He's going to get skill from detailing and have happy thoughts about that. And then also, the room's quality is going to improve and give him happy thoughts about that. So, if I go to designations and then maybe change the priority of this room, this area here to 5. I was in the wrong thing. Designations X to remove that. Designations S, and then priority 5 right here. Let's see over here. Okay, so this area here, over here is almost done. So maybe designations priority 3 right here. It keeps switching on me. Priority 3 on there just to finish it up. just to finish up this room right here. The library is not gonna I'm not sure if he's gonna have happy thoughts about being in like an immaculate library or not. The dining hall and the bedroom are the two important ones. Oh, carved downstairs. Excellent. Okay. So the designations S and then priority 3. This is what I want to do right on the bedroom and hall. So priority 3 on these. So the office he doesn't use as much, but the bedroom and the bedroom and the tavern he goes into like all the time. So the better I make those two spaces, overall his thoughts are going to go up. It's going to be great. And then once he levels up his detailing enough, I'll have him engrave some stuff. I'll have him engrave some pictures. And I want to make some more statues too. I'll let him engrave for a little bit though, but I want to make some more statues because we don't have a statue of the earthen yet, and I'd like to get an earthen statue and see what else he creates. Maybe he'll make a statue of the cat, who knows. Oh, and then I had a suggestion as well, or somebody gave me a suggestion to dig a to make like a water area right near the entrance of the right near the entrance of the Hobbit hole. And so what I could do is either I could do it two different ways. I could dig a channel and then just trigger water hauling with pit and pond, which would be pretty good. But I could also dig out a reservoir down here and get a well going on, and I think that I want to do that, but I want to let him I want to just get him below the threshold of stumbling around, because he just finished stumbling around and now he's going to drink now. But I want to get him below the threshold of stumbling around, so that way when he starts working, I know it's like kind of going to be consistent, and he's not going to get like trapped outside as often. He's going to get some new clothes and stuff now. So I think I'll plan for do I want it here or here? On the outside of the bridge or on the inside? I think on the inside, so designations H for channel right there, and designations no, you know what? I'm gonna do it outside. Designations H for a channel, like right here. And then designations J for a downstairs right there. I for an up downstairs, one level down, and then levels. I think that's about right. I'm gonna come over here. Maybe a little bit more. So right here. Oh, it looks like 2 more levels down. One, this level right here. Okay, right there. So 16 levels down. And Urist is back to detailing the walls, which is going to be great. So once he finishes the hall in the bedroom, it's gonna be great for his mind. And he left the anvil, the second anvil, over in the trade depot there. So I'm thinking that what I'm going to do with the steel anvils is melt them down, and I'll use the steel to make him better equipment. Maybe a better mining pick, a better axe. Sounds like a fine idea. Yeah, I made a coffee the other day, and there was all like water on the outside of the fish tank, on the countertop there. I have it like on the countertop, and why is the water here? Is the tank leaking? This is a big deal. So I had to like see if I could figure out where the water was coming. It wasn't very much, but it was a decent amount. Because like earlier in the day, like it was my second or third cup of coffee that I made. The coffee maker is like kind of next to and over from the fish tank. It's a 10-gallon tank with a goldfish that me and my wife won from the fair. We were very competitive, and we were playing the fish game, and you throw the bowl into the fish bowl, and we just combined all of the prizes that we were like, because we won like, it's like you win like 5 games or something, and you get like 1 little fish or something. We got a pretty decent sized goldfish, and I sit him up near the coffee maker, and I go over there. It's all wet, and I'm thinking to myself, is the tank leaking? I don't know. So like I started bailing out the fish tank with just a plastic container, and got it about halfway, cleaned up all the water and everything like that, and then like kind of let it sit and monitored the situation for a little while. I ended up opening up the filter at a certain point, and it was just so like, okay, I haven't taken care of the filter in a little bit. I must have put it off a little bit too long, taking care of the filter, and so it was all like fish tank gunk in the filter. You know how they get if you have one, but it was like not allowing water to pass through the normal route, and it was, so the water was like coming up a little bit higher than it was supposed to, and going out through the seam and getting onto the countertop. But at the time I was just like, this better not be leaking. I had to go buy a new fish tank real quick. But no, I still probably have to upgrade the fish tank. I want to get a 20-gallon, but there's, you know, where to put it, because I don't know if there's enough space for where it currently is, you know. But I ended up changing the water out and doing all fish tank maintenance. Very glad that it wasn't leaking, that it wasn't a leak, and that there wasn't any water damage at all, because like you know, it'll suck when that happens. So the universe didn't force my hand to buy a new fish tank, but it definitely forced my hand to clean it and not make a video. It was I got all the new art rolled out. All the new art. I did a lot of work on with the channel art, and that was another thing that kind of slowed down videos as well. So if you've been with the channel for a while, if you've been a subscriber for a while, then you know that we used to use one image, and now we're using a new logo, and all that art needs to be updated, as well as I did brighter text and everything like that on thumbnails. But let's see what we got here. The Forgotten Beast knee cut has come. A gigantic blob composed of grime and filth. It has a knobby shell, and it appears to be emaciated. Beware of its deadly spittle. Okay. Oh, that's like, what's this designation right here? Oh, okay, so this is an exploratory tunnel to get below this cavern layer. Okay. And then, no, where's the Forgotten Beast? Right here it is. And it looks damaged here. Okay. So Urist is still detailing the floor. And yes, I rolled out a lot of new art. There's a lot of hours to do the different art as well, and then all of the locations as well. But it was very satisfying once I created the new art and got everything updated. I think there's still like one thumbnail that I missed that I saw. It has the new updated art, but I didn't brighten the text on it. So that's going to be very soon. And then with the art out of the way, with like updating the art out of the way, it just gives me time to focus on recording videos and creating videos, which is great. Great, he's doing some detailing in the tavern as well now. Excellent. And so the last little bit has been pretty crazy. I've been, working a lot, and then working on the channel, updating all the art, and just making videos on both channels. I don't know if you guys know that I have a second channel as well. The second YouTube channel is focusing on relaxation. It is called Simple Relaxation. And it's just kind of like ambient sounds and locations. Some that are from video games and some that I record in the mountains or at the beach with my camera. And I'm thinking about the business aspects of everything as well. And so there's a lot of so like people think like, oh, I'll just make YouTube shit. I'll just make YouTube stuff, and it's a lot more involved than what it looks like as the final product here that you're seeing, that you're watching. Abin's here. Take a look at his inventory. The World Without Police. He brought the book back. Abin grown attached to my pulley book, but he had brought it back. Maybe he brought it back to make a copy of it in another location. I have no idea. But also Utag is here, the human poet. So Utag and Abin are both visiting, as well as Dishmab. And Urist is still detailing floors. He's made pretty good progress here in the hall and in the bedroom. Those are the current higher priority detailing jobs I have set up. And let me just make sure that the bedroom is the right size and the hall is the right size as well. Oh, great. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So this time we're not letting Abin leave, although this figurine right here, this figurine's blocking the door from closing. But Urist's happiness has went up. I didn't check it yet, but down here, this H with the colon and then 0, but I noticed that Urist went from the red column into the yellow column. So I didn't take a look at his stress yet. When he goes to sleep, we'll check his stress. And he hasn't... Oh, he's going to sleep right now. Excellent. So let's go to Z and then enter for thoughts. Just see if anything... Yeah, so right now, blissful after sleeping in a bedroom like a personal palace. So his bedroom was upgraded. But he is now feeling restless after being unable to practice a craft for too long. So I'm going to have to give him a craft. He felt fondness after making a friend. He made a friend. This is great news. Or has made a friend. Perhaps it's Dishmab. We'll check it out. He was relieved discussing his problems with an acquaintance. He was content after eating a fine dish. Blissful dining in a great dining room, so the dining room value hasn't gone up yet, or at least he didn't think it did. Interested having an intellectual discussion with an acquaintance. He was exhilarated getting into an argument. Interested near a fine container. Interested near his own fine cabinet. So he made a friend. Urist made a friend. Let's go to relationships here and see his friend. Oh, Dishmab is his friend. He has one friend that's alive now. Dishmab, the outpost liaison. Excellent. And now I'll go over to check his stress. Last time we read his stress, it was at 26.3k. Let's read it again. 24.3k. So underneath 25.0k must be the threshold of the red-yellow boundary here for the stress indicator. And I believe that now, I'm not 100% sure, we're gonna have to see, but I believe that now he should no longer, if I go to W for wounds, he's no longer haggard, now he's just stressed. So his stress is coming down, he's no longer haggard, and hopefully he stops stumbling around obliviously. Who is this? Monum's back. Okay. Monum's back, and Abin's visiting, and Utag is here, and Dishmab is here, and now Urist's friend Dishmab. And what's Urist doing? Picking up equipment. Okay. Oh, he's going to get some new clothes from his, okay. Great, he's storing his owned item, and the cat still follows Urist around, which I think is great. Let me get the cat in there, and I'm gonna lock this door and forbid it. So everybody's locked in the fort. Everybody's locked in the hobbit hole again, and Urist is detailing the floor. And this time I'm not letting Abin's not getting out alive this time. But that's all the time I have. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe for more videos. Just gonna save the game.